morning. Don't know where you are, but where I am, it's early. The world's still stretching, the coffee's hot, and the signals are already coming in. Let's take a look before the day starts making demands. This is Signal Check with Adrian North. So here's something genuinely unnerving. North Korean hackers have turned job interviews into weapons. We're talking about a group tracked as Void Dokibi, and they're posing as recruiters from crypto and AI companies, luring developers into what looks like a perfectly normal technical assessment. Clone this repository, they say, run the code, review it. Except the repository, sitting there on GitHub or GitLab looking completely legitimate, is infected. The moment you execute it, malware deploys through Visual Studio Code tasks. Credentials stolen, crypto wallet keys compromised, access to your entire CI/CD pipeline gone. And here's the wild part. This thing self-propagates through the software supply chain. One infected developer becomes a vector for dozens more. Trend Micro's advice? Treat every external repository as untrusted, even during hiring, especially during hiring, because the interview itself has become the attack surface. Anthropic rolled out Mythos Preview, this powerful AI tool for finding and patching security vulnerabilities. They've been talking it up, calling it capable of discovering issues in every major operating system and web browser. So naturally, you'd think the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency would have access to it. They don't. CISA, the agency literally tasked with protecting critical infrastructure from cyber attacks, wasn't given access to test the tool. Anthropic says they briefed government officials, CISA included. But briefing isn't access. And this matters because CISA is already under political fire. The Trump administration has been targeting them ever since they declared the 2020 election the most secure in American history. So now you've got this situation where the agency that coordinates cybersecurity for elections and public utilities is on the outside looking in at a tool that could help them do their job. The question isn't just about access. It's about whether politics is now dictating who gets to defend infrastructure. Meta just told employees that it's going to start tracking their keystrokes and mouse clicks. Every movement on company computers, every internal app interaction, all of it logged, all of it used to train AI models. A Meta spokesman explained it this way. If we're building AI agents to help people complete everyday tasks using computers, our models need real examples of how people actually use them. Fair enough, maybe, but here's the thing. Meta already had access to employee activity on company machines. That's not new. What's new is the explicit purpose: training AI, improving models. They say there are safeguards to protect sensitive content. They say the data isn't used for anything else. But when a company that makes its money from harvesting user data starts harvesting employee data in the same way, it's worth noting the blurred line. This is the workforce becoming the data set, and whether those safeguards hold up, that's the real test. North Korean hackers are mediocre. Let's just say it. They've always relied more on volume and persistence than sophistication. But now they've got AI tools, and that's changing everything. Security researchers found a group called Hexagonal Rodent running the same fake job interview scam we just talked about. Coding assignments infected with malware, crypto credentials stolen. But these hackers were sloppy enough to leave their own infrastructure exposed, and what leaked out were the prompts they've been feeding into ChatGPT and Cursor to write their malware. Think about that. They didn't need a development team anymore, they just needed access to an AI model. And it worked. North Korea is now using AI as a force multiplier across every part of its hacking operation, building resumes, building websites, building exploits, testing vulnerabilities, speed and scale. Cursor has since blocked them. Anima, one of the AI web design tools they used, is working to do the same. But the cat's out of the bag. If mediocre hackers can do this much damage with off-the-shelf AI, what happens when the sophisticated ones start using it? Here's some good news, and it's simpler than you think. 5 minutes? That's how much vigorous exercise you need each day to meaningfully reduce your risk of major diseases. We're talking cardiovascular events, type 2 diabetes, dementia, chronic kidney disease. Researchers looked at both fitness tracker data and self-reported activity, and they found that just 4% of your daily movement being vigorous, meaning you can't talk without getting out of breath, was enough to move the needle. If you're active for about 2 hours a day, including walking and household tasks, 4% translates to roughly 5 minutes, a hard sprint up the stairs, a fast bike ride around the block, and anything that demands your cardiovascular system step up. The American Heart Association has been saying this for a while, but now the data backs it up. Higher intensity triggers physiological responses that moderate activity just doesn't. Your heart, lungs, blood vessels, they all adapt. 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes. And finally, a humanoid robot just ran a half marathon in 1 hour and 24 minutes. That happened in Beijing. A robot named Lightning, built by the smartphone company Honor, crossed the finish line ahead of 12,000 human runners. To put that in perspective, the human world record for a half marathon is 57 minutes. Lightning wasn't close to that, but here's what matters. Last year, the robots at this same race were remotely controlled by humans standing nearby. This year, fully autonomous. Honor says they've been making humanoid robots for only a year, and they've been adapting technologies from consumer electronics, navigation systems, autonomous controls, and just plugging them into robot bodies. The top 3 finishers were all robots, all from Honor. And while Jacob Kippelmo's world record pace is still untouchable, the gap is closing faster than anyone expected. The race had 300 robots and 12,000 humans running parallel courses. Next year, you have to wonder if they'll even need separate courses. That's Signal Check for today. Close the tabs. Step outside. The day's waiting. We'll talk again next time.